In the NFL right this minute. Go.
All right, so I hate my list already, but we're going to start at number 5, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That loss yesterday is, it's tough because they lost to a good team, and they're obviously very good. And they've had a really good run. They're one of the most impressive teams. I'm not going to say that they're not going to win the Super Bowl. But given what happened last week, you have to drop them down on the list. And given the team that beat them, you have to put that team in front of them in the Bengals. The Bengals a few weeks ago had a very embarrassing loss to the Browns. But since that loss, they've been very, very impressive. They got Chase back. They have a defense that has some issues, some holes on it. But at every level, they have really talented players. There aren't like big superstar names, but they don't make mistakes. They're well coached, and they make some of the best adjustments in the league. So yeah, Joe Burrow at 4. At number 3, I think I went with the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I thought so. The Cowboys, there's not much to say about them. That defense is tremendous. They create turnovers. They get pressure. Dak Prescott is probably the most trustworthy quarterback we have in the NFC, which isn't saying much, even though he had some ugly balls in that recent game. That drops him down just a little bit. But I love the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. And I got the Bills at number 2, maybe, I think. Josh Allen is unstoppable, but he makes a lot of really poor decisions. That defense is dealing with a lot of injuries, but they still have been on a pretty impressive run. The way that they treated the Patriots recently, I think, stood out to me. And you have to put them there because they are as talented as they are, and Stephon Diggs is quite possibly the best receiver in football. And number 1 is easy. This is the only thing I feel good about on this list. Only thing that I'm confident about is the Eagles are by far the number 1 team in all of football.
Okay, and I don't think anyone could argue with the 5 teams that you put up there. We could quibble over the order. Let's bring the guys in because let me ask you this. If you are doing your list based upon who are the 5 best teams this minute, this week, they just beat them, then I totally get it. Yeah. But if I were to change it to which ones do you have the most confidence in going through the playoffs? Would you change this list? Would you still have Eagles and Bills at the top? Because that would suggest that's your Super Bowl.
No, I would definitely change this list. I think I'd put the Chiefs in front of the Bills. I think I put the Bengals in front of the Bills. I guess I have to put the Bengals in front of the Chiefs also. But I still think I would put the Chiefs. Yeah, I think I go Eagles, Chiefs.
Because then the game that happened last weekend isn't the deciding factor.
Yeah. And I think I go Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Cowboys, Bengals.
So your order in the AFC is Chiefs, then Bengals, then Bills, or Chiefs, then Bills, then Bengals?
I'm a sucker for that Patrick Mahomes, man.
See, these are the questions. No, who can argue with all of that? What do you think, Dan, about?
I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I mean, they are the reigning AFC champions, and they're actually playing better.
Yeah.
They're playing better on both sides of the ball.
Right now, they're playing the best of anybody in the AFC. What do you think?
I mean, at this time of year, it's tough to get my attention. The last 2 weeks, the Cincinnati Bengals, I watch them, listen to them, I'm like, there's something going on.
Okay, change the list. Bengals number 1
going on.
Bengals number 1. Fix the list.
They are in the right frame of mind for this time of year, and they know that because they just went through it.
And they were there last year. We forget that they were there last year, and they're better.
They're the only team that's going to be in the playoffs that was in last year's Super Bowl. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And the other piece of this that leaves you that you wonder about, well, the value of having a top-level NFL quarterback. There isn't one. We have 5 quarterbacks on our screen right now, and every single one of them you have the confidence in, particularly with the season that Hurts is having, which begs the question, if you are a San Francisco team or one of these others, they're going to try and get there without a quarterback who is tried and true. This is where your problem lies. This is the position you need to get right.
Yeah, I feel bad about leaving the 49ers off because, honestly, I don't feel any different about the 49ers last week than I do this week. But, yeah, having Brock Purdy there gives them a little bit of a step down, but that team is still very talented.
That's right. I mean, you could tip your cap to Tennessee and how they find a way, but you just don't have any faith in that group and that quarterback.
And no team had a better weekend than the Bills did, if you think about it. They beat the Patriots, the Jets lost, the Dolphins lost. So maybe no team had a more impactful, positive week. That's the Foxy 5, argue if you will.